Hello, this is Robert. I'm a tax attorney here at Tax Resolution Professionals, and we're going to be going over the frequently asked question, how do I file my offer in compromise with the IRS? First, you need to fill out the proper forms. There's going to be a Form 433 and a Form 656. Form 433A OIC is for individuals, and Form 433B OIC is for businesses. This form is a financial statement. The IRS uses this to determine the collectability of the person or business applying for a tax settlement. Sole proprietorships should use Form 433A OIC. Now, Form 656 is the same form for both individuals and businesses. Here you're going to put how much you are offering and payment details. Make sure to check for a fee and down payment waiver if you qualify and are applying as an individual. Businesses are not going to get that fee or down payment waiver. At the end of Form 433A OIC and Form 433B OIC, there's a list of all the documents that need to be submitted with the offer in compromise. Now I'm going to go through the list for 433A OIC first, and I'm going to add some notes to it based on my experience, why they are asking for these documents. Copies of the most recent pay stub, earnings statement, etc. from each employer. They're trying to figure out year to date, how much money did you make? 2, copies of the most recent statement for each investment and retirement account. Then copies of the most recent statement, etc. from all their sources of income, such as pensions, Social Security, rental income, interest, and dividends. Those two are pretty much straightforward. Also, child support, alimony, and rent subsidies. So pretty much any kind of income. That's what they're looking for. Copies of individual bank statements for the 3 most recent months. If you operate a business, copies of the 6 most recent statements for each business bank account. What they're looking for here is weird deposits, anything that doesn't look correct, and they're kind of matching it up to your income. If your income doesn't match the bank statements, that's not a good sign. And if you have cash deposits all over the place and no explanation for it, you're probably not going to get your offer in compromise accepted. Copies of the most recent statement from lenders on loans such as mortgages, second mortgages, vehicles, etc., showing monthly payments, loan payoffs, and balances. List of notes receivable if applicable. Most people don't have a notes receivable, so it's usually not applicable. Verification of delinquent state local tax liability if applicable. Another note here, if you have a state or local tax liability and it doesn't look like that's going to get into a settlement, you may want to go ahead and put that into a payment plan before you submit your IRS offer in compromise, because that expense reduces your collectability. Documentation to support any special circumstances described in the Form 656. If you have like a medical condition, something like that, include the doctor's note, include whatever medical reports you have with your settlement. If applicable, attach a Form 2848. Now that's a power of attorney. That's if someone's representing you. Really, when someone's representing you, they should be filing the power of attorney right away and calling in and finding out what's going on with the case before just submitting a settlement. So if someone just has never looked at your case and is just submitting a settlement with a 2848, that's kind of a sign that they're not doing a really good job. And I know that some tax relief companies do that. Completed and signed Form 656. Here are the documents needed for filing IRS Form 433B OIC. A current profit and loss statement covering at least the most recent 6 to 12 month period, if appropriate. If your tax returns are recently filed, a lot of the time you can just submit the profit and loss statement from that and they'll accept it. Copies of the 6 most recent bank statements for each business account, and copies of the 3 most recent statements for each investment and retirement accounts. Again, the bank statements are looking for weird deposits. They want to make sure that the income is actually matching up to what's on the bank statements, trying to prove essentially that you're not lying. I should say, though, investment and retirement accounts, most businesses don't have that. If an asset is used as collateral on a loan, include copies of the most recent statement from lenders on loans, monthly payments, loan payoffs, and balances. Pretty self-explanatory. Copies of the most recent statement of outstanding notes receivable. A lot of businesses don't have notes receivable. They're just operating on a daily basis. So if it's not there, you don't need to make it up. There's no reason to make a document that you don't actually have or need. Copies of the most recent statements from lenders on loans, mortgages, including second mortgages, monthly payments, loan payoffs, and balances. Pretty self-explanatory there. Copies of relevant supporting documentation of the special circumstances described in Form 656. Most businesses are not going to have special circumstances, but if there is anything, make sure to include the documents. Attach a Form 2848. And again, if someone is attaching a Form 2848 and has not done any type of call-in or anything before, that's kind of a bad sign. I probably would have someone else look at your case before you actually submit the offer. Completed and signed Form 656, of course, goes with that, Form 433B OIC. So copy it all, mail out USPS certified with return receipt. Either scan up the entire package you are sending or make a copy of it. Make sure you do mail it with certified mail. Make a copy of the certified mail certificate. Save the return receipt when you get it. See below for the mailing addresses that are current. You should get a letter back in about 30 days that the IRS is processing your offer. That letter will have a date on it by which they should be contacting you again. So typically you get a letter and it'll say, hey, we're contacting you again in 5 months. The dates range depending on how busy they are and which office it gets assigned to. If your case was in collections or assigned to a revenue officer, let them know you submitted an offer in compromise. Then just wait for the offer in compromise department's response. So, when your case is in collection and you submit the offer in compromise, it will stop collection activity from moving forward. But if IRS doesn't know yet and you just in the mail, you technically could get garnished. So if you have a callback date with collections, you should be calling them back and letting them know, hey, I submitted the offer. Don't just wait for it to process to save you. If you've never gotten a collections letter from the IRS and you're just submitting it right away and your debts are fairly new, you probably can get away with just submitting the offer in compromise. I recommend, though, and in our cases, we always call just to see where it's at. Sometimes people are in collections and you want to make sure that there's no collection activity being taken, while the offer in compromise before it actually gets to its processing. So do you want to do it yourself? If the task seems daunting or you just don't want to do it yourself, we can help. Give us a call at 888-515-4829. That's 888-515-4TAX, or visit our contact page linked below. We will give you an accurate assessment of whether you qualify for an offer compromise or not. No sales gimmicks, just an honest opinion. We'll think you can get it, or we think you can't get it. Sometimes offers are not the best way to resolve a case anyway. If you're not sure, have someone evaluate the options for you. I would not trust the opinion of a salesperson at a tax relief company or anyone that just goes by the title tax consultant that is not actually licensed in anything. Anyway, this is Tax Resolution Professionals. Thanks for watching and have a great week.